Hello guys, it's TZK and today we're going to be doing the COD Zombies games tier list. Keep in mind this is COD Zombies only, so based off these games I'm only going to be basing it on the Zombies mode, not campaign, multiplayer or blackout or any of that. So this is just purely the Zombies mode only and what I think of it. And starting off with Infinite Warfare, I would say it's about a good tier. To be fair, it's probably the best non-treyarch title because it basically is like the closest thing to it. I feel like with the other non-treyarch zombies, they sort of lost that feel that Treyarch had, whereas Infinite Warfare is of course like the closest thing to it. I would say it's good, but I mean the maps, for me, they're not the best, but they're not the worst. Like Treyarch Zombies does have some really iconic maps, but for Infinite Warfare, the most iconic I would say is like Zombies in Spaceland. Like there's not a lot of memorable maps, but to be fair, out of all of the non-Treyarch games, this one is the best. And next up is Advanced Warfare. I've actually never played Advanced Warfare Zombies, so I'm going to have to put this in never played. I did try and do it a while ago, but for some reason you need to pay for the Zombies mode. I don't know why, so I never really bothered with it. But from the videos I've watched, you can get like some exoskeleton or something, which makes you like rocket jump everywhere or something. I don't know. It's just something I've never really played. And coming up next is Black Ops 3. I mean, this Zombies mode is just the best. The fact that custom maps are still being made to this day, it just goes to show how successful the Zombies mode is. I mean, love it or hate it, you have to admit, Black Ops 3 Zombies did do quite a lot. You had Shadows of Evil on launch, and you also had like 4 other DLC maps. There was also Zombie Chronicles, where there's like 12 remastered maps or something like that. And just like I mentioned before, you can also get custom maps, which basically does keep the game alive. We've also got things like Gobblegum, which to be fair, I don't like too much, but I don't mind it. But basically, Black Ops 3 Zombies is like the complete package, to be fair. If you're more of like a modern Zombies fan, Black Ops 3 Zombies is for you. If you like the old style of Zombies by Zombie Chronicles, it'll be for you. So it's like a bit of everything for like everybody, if you get what I mean. And next up is Black Ops 2 Zombies, and this is actually the first ever Zombies game I played back in 2012. This is what really got me into COD Zombies, and to be fair, I'd like to give it a God tier. And you see, the problem is with Black Ops 2, the maps are good and bad. You've got bad maps like Transit, Die Rise, whereas you have good maps like Origins, Mob of the Dead. So it's like it's a bit of a mixed bag, to be fair. Black Ops 2 was like the last game to come out on Xbox 360 in terms of COD Zombies, and there was a couple more. This was like the last COD Zombies game to be released on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 of course, and although it doesn't have custom workshop support or as many maps as Black Ops 3, I do really like Black Ops 2, because for me it's just the nostalgia, because I've been playing it for so long. And although Transit and Die Rise can be a bit bad, I do still really like those maps. Like those are the kind of maps that you sort of like after a while. They sort of grow on you after a while. And I feel like every bad Black Ops 2 map does that. Like it is bad at first, but then it grows on you. So they're all actually quite good in their own ways. And next up is Black Ops 4 Zombies, and on launch, I did used to really like this, but coming back to it 5 years later, comparing it with other games, yeah, it's just not that great. They made a lot of questionable choices in Black Ops 4, removing Juggernog, the terrible UI. There was a lot of questionable stuff, which it just looks bad. There was some good maps, don't get me wrong. There was like 9 and Ancient Evil, which was quite good. But for me, the majority of the maps were just average or bad. You got maps like Alpha Omega, Classified. Half of the maps were just remasters, which is just off-putting, to be fair. But what I like about Black Ops 4 is each map is like set in a different location. Like obviously you got like ancient Greece, ancient Rome, you've got the Pentagon. They're set in different locations, so it's not like the same sort of area every time. But yeah, the game engine and like the questionable choices just really knocked it off. Coming back to it 5 years later, I'm not really a big fan of it. And next up is Call of Duty World at War. This is actually quite a good game. I wouldn't say it's great because the engine can be a bit annoying, because zombies can actually slow you down when they hit you, and the 2 hit down system is really annoying and it's a lot more buggier. So that's the only real thing that brings it down for me, but the maps are just amazing. Like, they basically set the foundation for the future games. If it wasn't for World at War, like, COD Zombies wouldn't be where it is. Not to mention you got some really good wonder weapons, like the ray gun, the Wunderwaffe, which are still used to this day. And although World at War is a bit outdated nowadays, it's still a really good game to come back to and just enjoy. World War 2 Zombies I would have to give about a good tier. I quite like the horror kind of feeling they went for. I think they tried to go back to the old style of World at War Zombies where it was a lot more scarier. And to be fair, it did work quite well. Now, I've only actually played the starting map, like the very first map for World War 2 Zombies, so I don't know much about the other maps. But from playing the first map, I do really like it. It is a good foundation for the other couple of maps. I don't know what they're like. I can see potential in it, but don't go wrong, it's not like the best thing in the world. But comparing it to the later games that came after it, like, you know, it's not that bad at all. And coming up next, we have Black Ops 1. This is just, like, basically near enough perfect. It basically took World at War's engine and basically improved on it, like, a lot. And I mean to the point where you don't get slowed down by zombies 2 hit down. You still have 2 hit downs, but it's not as buggy as World at War. Black Ops 1's maps, in my opinion, are some of the best, because each map is like a different location. You know, you got the Siberian outpost from Call of the Dead, you got like a jungle in Shangri-La, and you finish off with a zombies map on the moon, which is pretty damn cool. And although at the start of Black Ops 1, the maps did look a bit bland, they did do quite well at the end. And of course you had some really good weapons like the Shrink Ray, the Zap Gun, the Thunder Gun. My only issues is the 2 hit down system. It is a bit annoying, but if you can get past that part of the game, it is pretty good. Cold War Zombies, I'd have to give this a good tier. I do like it, but the only problem is with Cold War, they've sort of merged it with other game modes. And what I mean by that is they've just taken like the HUD from other games and just like slapped it on. Like, you've got a useless mini-map, which basically does nothing. You've got a useless compass, which does nothing. I can see why you would use it to like try and find somebody, but it's just not that useful. And for me, Cold War Zombies is a bit too easy in my opinion. Like, for example, the ray gun is really overpowered. You've got like all of the perks, no perk limit, so you can basically just sit in a corner with like Ring of Fire and just do like literally nothing for 500 rounds. I do quite like the maps. I feel like the maps are very different from each other. They're set in different locations, and although towards the end they did sort of get a bit lazy with map design with Forsaken, I just feel like they did okay with the maps, to be fair. They're not great, but they're not bad at the same time. And last but not least, we have Vanguard, which I think we all know where this is going to go. I've only ever played Vanguard Zombies once, and I literally swore to myself to never play it again. It seriously is the worst. It's honestly the worst state I've ever seen zombies in. It's not even COD Zombies at this point, it's just watered down trash. And I'm not the only one who thinks that way either. Like, if you watch COD Zombies Vanguard reviews, everybody hates it. I'm pretty sure they had to cut it short in the end because like nobody liked it. Like, it just wasn't what the other games offered. It just did a complete 180 and just decided to just ruin everything. Oh, and real quick, before I do end the video here, I actually forgot to include one more game, Modern Warfare 3, because as you know it hosts the Zombies mode. And to be fair, there's not really much I can say apart from it's just a bad Zombies mode. I only played Modern Warfare 3 Zombies a handful of times, and to be fair, I didn't enjoy it at all. The fact that there's a 1 hour timer in a Zombies mode, it just sucks. Like, Zombies is like an infinite game mode where you try and survive as long as you can, get to as high of a round as you can, but for some reason they thought, oh, let's add a timer in. Like, seriously, who does that? Not to mention you've also got Mercenaries, which is basically humans shooting at you, so it's not even COD Zombies at this point, it's just like a mix of multiplayer. And not to mention there's only one map in the entire game, and it's basically ripped off of Warzone, so it just sucks. Just avoid it. At this point I'd rather play Vanguard, and that's saying something. Honestly, I would actually choose Vanguard because at least it's the closest thing to actual zombies. But yeah, this is my COD Zombies games tier list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do let me know down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more zombies videos, and I'll see you in the next video.